exit right.
Hey y'all. Welcome back for another episode of Complex Convo with your girl Sonia B. I'm laughing. I'm driving, as you can see. I'm driving safe, hands-free. Phone's not in my hand. And you know that son that I'm always talking about, that we have these deep philosophical conversations, that's who is trapped in the car with me. You kind of see him over there.
Hello.
So we were having a conversation about something that I did that he did not agree with. So I wanted to include the people. I talked about yesterday the 5 things, I think 4 or 5 things that I learned this year. And one of those things is, things end for a reason. They happen for a reason. Relationships end, friendships end. You don't get that closure that you need, and it's just best to move on. Now, in this day and age of ghosting people, I personally do not like it because it's happened to me a couple of times. But I recently had to ghost someone. And I feel like I'm justified in the reason why I ghosted this person, because the bottom line is that he was crazy. My son, however, is calling me on my shit, because if I don't like that something happened to me, why would I do this to somebody else? So let me tell you what had happened. I told y'all about the bad date, right? The bad date that I went on, and I told the person, he asked, when I said thank you for paying for the meal, he said, do I have to go home? I told him he had to go home. He was welcome to go shopping, partake in the things that were in the surrounding area, or go home, your choice. But that was it. We had a video conversation. I'm not even gonna call it a video conversation after that. He literally would want to have a video chat, but just would sit on the phone and not say nothing. I'm sorry, I require some type of dialogue.
Yeah, chuckling like a kid in a candy store.
Right. Just anyway. So I decided, you know what, I'm just not gonna return any of his phone calls. I deleted the messaging app, or I blocked him. I don't know. I think I blocked him on it. So that he couldn't send me any more stupid videos or have any pointless conversations. And I figured that since that's all he wanted to do, he would not call me. That was my rationalization. He would just not call. Well, he calls. After sending several text messages saying, hey, are you ignoring my phone calls? If I do not respond to your text message of, hey, are you ignoring my phone calls? If that were me on the receiving end, I would assume after 24 hours of no response that they are in fact avoiding my phone calls. But he didn't stop there. It was okay, you avoided my phone calls, wait another 24 hours. And the last text message that he sent me was, I thought you were a great woman, but you weren't woman enough to tell me what was on your heart. But that's okay, because you have missed your blessing. Have a blessed life. I swear, verbatim, that was the text message that I received. I was like, okay, he got it. He a little mad. It's all right. He didn't call me out my name. He didn't say nothing crazy. So, okay, I will have that blessed life. And we thought we were going to leave well enough alone, right? No. Then it was followed by 2 days later, late night phone calls after 11, 12 o'clock. Now, I'm asleep. So now you're just really doing this to irritate me. Okay. I didn't acknowledge the phone call. I didn't leave a message. I didn't text back and say, hey, it's real rude and disrespectful to call me at this time. I figured at some point he is going to go away. No, he did not. Yesterday, he left me a voice message. And in his voice message, he says to me that, hey, I was just calling because I'm feeling some type of way about you not responding to me. And I really wanted to call and say some foul shit to you, but God won't let me say it. So if God was stopping you from saying some foul shit to me, why didn't he stop you from dialing my phone number? Why did he not why did he give you discernment to say, let me just not dial this chick's phone number anymore? I'm just saying. So
I guess we're religious when it's convenient for us.
Right. It is convenient religious belief there. Yeah, he was quite upset about that. You know, should I give him some bonus points for calling me to let me know that I could call you and say some off the wall shit, but God stopped me? Come on now. Oh my God. So, okay, herein lies our dilemma. Sorry, going through a tunnel. My son said I could have avoided all of this had I just simply told him I'm not feeling you in any way, shape, or form. Let's not even be friends. And while I agree with that sentiment, if this were a regular person, I don't consider him to be a regular person. And, and here's why I don't consider him to be a regular person, because those red flags that I told y'all about a couple of videos ago that come back around in the shape of another person, another situation, he presented them red flags right at the beginning. So at least, you know, I was smart enough to say, okay, we not falling for these red flags again. But yeah, that's why I did not have that intelligent conversation by saying, you know, I'm not feeling you, I'm not interested in you. Please do not call my number again, and no, we cannot be friends. I think the average person could have had that conversation, but I say he was not normal because he displayed an explosive behavior right away. He showed me in his demeanor that he could not handle rejection. I typically ask people who I'm talking to or going out with for the first time, you know, hey, what happened in your last relationship? You know, what did you contribute to the demise of the relationship? I am not a fool, and I don't believe that it's always one person's fault. So I didn't think that we could have that conversation because he was quick to blame the other person and got, you know, I mean, you see the body language change. It's kind of hostile in the way that he answered. So, no, I didn't think I could just give him the regular brush off. I thought it was best that I just ghost him all the way. However, my son disagreed. Tell people why you disagreed with my ghosting tactics.
Well, at least for me personally, I've never been in a relationship. But a lot of the times I see people end off a relationship, maybe not even a relationship. Some people end up dating somebody that they're not really feeling, and maybe they're trying to hint at the fact that they're not really feeling the relationship, or at least the date that they're in, and the other person's just really not getting it. So they decided, well, this person isn't taking the hint, and this person isn't really, you know, understanding or reading the room, for lack of a better word.
Right.
So I'm just gonna cut off all form of communication with this person, and maybe then they'll understand I'm not really trying to talk to them anymore. And I get where the frustration is behind that, because, you know, if you're the person on the receiving end of that, you're like, you know, what is it that I do? Can I do something to make it better? If I find out what it is that I did wrong, can we restart? And sometimes they did something that is maybe not necessarily irredeemable, but is a deal breaker for a lot of people. And that's it. You messed up. It's done. Sorry, you don't get another chance.
Right.
And while that is what I would personally do, I would just tell the person, hey, you know, I'm not feeling the relationship, or I'm not feeling the date, I'm not feeling the vibe that we're giving off. So while I appreciate the effort to do something, right, to maybe be more than friends, or to go past this first date barrier that we have, I don't see this going anywhere. And if I don't feel like being friends with the person, I'll let them know, hey, I'm not really looking for a friendship. Sorry. But go ahead.
But my question is, if the person displayed red flags up front during that first interaction, and you can tell from those red flags and the body language and the quick to anger and the evasiveness of answering questions and always projecting issues on the other person, those are things that that's a deal breaker for me, and red flags, to say the least. If you see that in a person, do you think that type of person you can honestly say face to face, hey love, this is not, I don't see us going anywhere. Do you really think that that's a safe conversation? Because I didn't.
Well, here's my thing, and I was actually going to go into that. If you feel like this person isn't going to react very, how should you say, humanely, when you bring up a subject such as, hey, you're not giving me the feeling that you're a very cool person when somebody brings up something that you might disagree with, or when somebody tells you something about yourself that you may not like.
That's crazy.
If that's crazy. Yeah. So if you didn't feel safe with the person and you didn't feel like having a conversation with them about not talking to them anymore or communicating with them on any sort of level was going to end very well, then I understand why people ghost other people. I think just for me personally, for people that can have this conversation.
Just saying, that's why I'm saying.
For people that can have this conversation, on my part of the argument is just saying, hey, if this person can talk and this person isn't gonna, chuck a rock through a window or something when you tell them that, hey, we went out on a couple of dates and, every time your breath is kind of kicking like Bruce Lee.
Okay.
If somebody can take that and be like, okay, I get it, then yeah, you should have that conversation. Or if you go to a steakhouse and you order a burger, and that's all you order, and maybe for some people that's one red flag, and maybe it's not a deal breaker yet, but you go on and you start to talk about past relationships, and they go off the rails, for lack of a better word at the moment. Yeah, then maybe I get it. I get why people just ghost other people. But for the same people that can have the conversation about why a date or a relationship isn't working out, I'd say have that conversation so that there are no unanswered questions or assumptions on either side. Just nip it in the bud right then and there, and then you're good. But that's for the same people. That's for the people who can have the conversation, not for the people who can't have the conversation, for the people who can't take the hint, and for the people who decide, I'm going to call you up late at night, early in the morning,
and threaten you, non-threaten you. I was going to call you and tell you about yourself in a real disrespectful way, but the Lord, the Lord stopped me.
Yeah, you gotta throw that in there because I might be crazy, but I'm a religious figure. I'm a religious person. I believe in the Lord.
I believe in the Lord
that justifies me calling you.
But I cuss a little bit.
That justifies me calling you early in the morning, or leaving you a voicemail to tell you. I was gonna say something real nasty, but I won't because I'm a man of God. That kind of person. And so yeah, don't get me wrong. I understand why people do ghost some people. I'm just saying that if it was a person that you can have a conversation with, that you might want to have the conversation so that you don't just leave somebody upset. And maybe not necessarily just because you don't want to leave the person upset, but just so that there are no confusions on the person of the receiving end. Just so they know, hey, this is done because X, Y, and Z. Not just, this is done because...
In 1 mile, keep left.
See? She does that all the time. She is so rude like that. Excuse her.
She didn't want to hear what I got to say. It's all right.
Right.
It's all right.
But you know what? In defense of the person who is sane and can have that conversation or receive it, I mentioned earlier that I've been ghosted a couple of times. And I think I'll probably send one text message to say, hey, what's up? You had a change of heart. If I don't get a response, I'm good. That's all that I'm going to do. I'm not going to call you late at night. I'm not going to send you some arbitrary text message.
In a 1/4 mile, keep left.
Just rude. Anyway, I'm not going to send you an arbitrary text message to tell you what I was going to tell you, but not tell you because the Lord stopped me from telling you, but I'm calling you or texting you to tell you what I was going to almost say. I'm not doing that. That's a sign of crazy.
Keep left.
Okay. We keep it to the left. Yeah. So anyway, folks, like I said, I learned a lot this year. So when I say I learned that some things end for a reason and you don't necessarily get that closure, I was coming from a place of ghosting or having ghosted someone recently. But come on now. I had to jump on here and follow that up. Look, if you've been ghosted, don't call the person. Do not become a bugaboo calling them and semi-threatening them in the name of the Lord. Don't do that.
You gotta read the room. If it's over, it's over.
Read the room, read the text, read the airspace in between you two if there's no communication coming from the other person. So don't reach out. Don't reach out.
And if there's anything that I learned this year was that, especially in today's climate, you have to learn how to agree to disagree. You know, just like me and my mom, we may not agree on how to end relationships, crazy or sane. However, you gotta learn how to understand that people aren't always gonna deal with an issue or a circumstance the same way that you would. And that doesn't mean that you can't agree on other things.
Right.
But you can't hold on to the fact that there will be things that you don't necessarily agree on how to handle. And you have to be okay with that. Because not everybody thinks the same. Not everybody grows up with the same circumstances. Not everybody, maybe some people have had a circumstance that was similar, but due to the circumstances that they've had growing up, or due to the environment that they were in at the time, they may have had different tools to handle the situation just a little bit differently.
But crazy is crazy, and you don't you don't pick up the phone for crazy. You don't return crazy's text messages, and you sure don't respond to the threatening, non-threatening, in the name of Jesus voice messages.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We don't do that.
Definitely not.
We don't do that. So if you've been ghosted, with or without good cause, don't reach out. And if you are the one doing the ghosting, are you doing it for the right reasons? That's all I'm saying. So if you've ghosted someone or you've been ghosted, did you agree with the way that you were ghosted? Not that there's a good or bad way to ghost anybody, but if they disappeared, they did you a favor. That was the blessing. I got my blessing from the first text message. The blessing was we would no longer be in contact. But you out there watching this video, even though it is funny as hell to me, the threatening, non-threatening, in the name of Jesus voice message that I received. How are you ghosted, or how did you ghost someone? Leave your comments below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I'm sorry, this is just hilarious, and this is what I'm gonna laugh my way out of this decade. Because when I step into 2020, this foolishness right here, I'm not even entertaining. But I had to come on in here and share that with you. That in my lesson that I learned of being ghosted and having ghosted someone, I am threatened in the name of the Lord. All right, y'all. Until next time. Bye.